Hello everyone. In this video I will show you how to play professional Skybase to be able to win games at tournaments. If you want to know how to build a stick without stopping, how to build a vertical wall that's minimal visible, what are the best settings for Skybase, or any other things about it, enjoy this video. Here you can find the answer to every question about Skybase, which allows you to win games at the tournaments. Let's start with the most important settings. First of all, to be able to build a stick without stopping, you must have double movement set to 45, 68, 135. It allows you to keep the camera angle such that when using the D button and building a braided wall, you can build without stopping. The edit is also an important setting. It allows you to edit buildings before they are built, which will be very useful when you build a skybase in a way that will be least visible. But remember, fighting with this setting can be a bit uncomfortable, but it will be dependent on you if you will switch it only at key moments or have it turned on permanently. Additionally, it's a good idea to have your viewing distance set to epic. This will make you see the structures as far as possible, which can come in handy should you encounter another skybase or when observing what's going on below. Skin is maybe not the most important factor, but if it can be slim and dark, it would be less visible both when you are at the bottom and looking for place to build and at the top of the skybase. My skin is a black superhero, which I set up like this. To train playing skybase in a normal game, you need to waste a lot of time for collecting materials and waiting for the right zones. For this reason, I create a map whose code now you see on the screen. This is the hub for Skybase players, where you will find a place to practice building vertically, a place to train building with a stick, and a place where you can train moving around an already built skybase, based on Skybase parkour. You will also find a place for quick 1v1 combat training, and most interesting of all, a place to play 1v1 skybase. This is a game for up to a maximum of 2 players, where one spawn above the other. Moments later, the zones start. Your task is to build like on Skybase and survive to the end. To make the players have to build like on Skybase, meaning with a stick, I have placed bots under each of you. We will shoot you in such a way as destroy the floors and not destroy the edited walls, which I call the stick. At the end, if you both survive, which is not so easy, you will fight with a heal-off, so it's worth checking out what is the most optimal place for a heal-off and what secrets these houses hide. The essence of the whole strategy is to stay unnoticed until the end of the game, and then win the game by having more healing from your opponents. So it's kind of like heal-off strategy, but by staying in the safe zone, you avoid storm sickness. So it's a good idea to early designate one person from the duo to save the storm sickness counter. Ja biegnę już do ciebie, żeby też już nie ryzykować za dużo. Let me remind you, after 500 damage, it goes into warring for 100 damage. After the warring period is over, for the next 200 damage, you will receive 3 times more damage from the zone before you get eliminated. Here I will not show you a concrete good solution. I can only suggest you that you need to find a place that combines safety, a source of metal, and a source of healing, preferably fish. A place that combines these 3 elements in the correct proportions will be a good place for landing for Skybase. You should try to get 3 healing slots. This will be the best solution, but of course you can choose otherwise. One of the item slots you need to occupy with a drop item. In games with Storm Surge, Fizz might be useful. To these 4 occupied slots you can choose a weapon that suits your plan for the game. A pump if you are going to fight at the end, a rifle or sniper if you need Storm Surge. At this moment you already know the basics, such as in-game settings and needed items, so now we can move to the point where you need to choose a place to build a skybase. Before that, I should tell you a secret that not many people know about. This is a change that was implemented with the performance cap, in which they set 0 points for the elimination. They did this to get as many people as possible onto the server load in each game, because this mystery change I'm going to tell you about affects the server lags in stacked games. That change is the reduction of the viewing distance. It now works in a rather complicated way, because the viewing distance is not expressed in only one number. So how it works? The way it works is that if you are at the same height as the structure you are looking at, it disappears when you are reached 285 meters in about 5 seconds. However, if you are looking at the structure at the maximum height in the game while being at the lowest one, the viewing range will be up to 390 meters. Knowledge allows you to assume that you should be 285 meters from the place where enemies can appear. Remember that you can build the base in different ways. I suggest you build either from the stairs half the distance to the back and the other half to the front, or when you have more time, build a vertical wall. To build a vertical wall, you must edit the wall as follows. Then come up to the 3 build walls, look as hard as you can up above them and reduce your viewing angle a little. Then hold the left mouse button responsible for putting up walls all time. And very quickly spam the button responsible for the wall. Button responsible for climbing, try to click as soon as you put up the wall. You should then start climbing vertically. Very important part of Skybase is refarming materials. This allows you to increase the amount of materials used in Skybase by at least 1000, which is very important. To do this, you need to collect 500 wood and 500 stone, one zone before building, around the place where will you start. The best option is to spend all of Zone 3 on refarming and start building in Zone 4. If you have difficulties, you can start in Zone 5. Remember that Zone 5 takes a total of 2 minutes, not 3 like Zone 4. What follows is that you need to do everything fast enough to make it in time for the next zone. There are several rules that determine where to start. The first is distance from the potential opponents. Notice what I said earlier about the viewing distance of the structures. It is worth estimate where the probability of the enemies appearing is very low and choosing a point about 300 meters away from that point. The second important rule is that you can only build in 2 dimensions, front back and right left. There is no optimal building option at an angle, so you need to position yourself at the right points regarding this rule. Finally, it's worth paying attention to the surrounding hills. This will always help you save materials. When you get to the top, one of you has to go back for materials. The other one builds to the zone. Sharing rules obviously makes everything go smoothly. Remember that if zone is very far away, you don't have force building with a stick. You can make up for the distance for some time by building halved floor. The worst zones that can ruin the entire game are the first 2 half zones. There is a chance that the first half zone will appear at the angle farthest from you. Then you have to move instantly, using up 1100 materials and making you very visible for a while. Unfortunately, there is no other way. You have to waste these materials. In such a difficult situation, it's worth building first to the direction farthest from the new zone. You will also increase the average distance from the potential eyes of your opponents who may notice you. In moving zones, the longer you are able to stay on the stick, of course the better, because it will be hard to drop you. However, if you have a problem with that, it's better to start building wide to avoid taking the risk of falling. If you have a lot of materials, you should build wide with a stick. This is definitely the best option, but it also uses the most materials. Remember too that it will be much easier for you to pick up materials from one of you, who will sacrifice himself to pass 150 materials to the other from the siphon. Options for ending the game are many. The best is to heal off your opponents and win safely that way. Sometimes, however, it will be better to put up a fight, hence items such as thunders or pumps can also become important. The decision is up to you and the concrete game. If you don't know where to find people playing Skybase, you can meet them on my Discord server. You can find a link to join the Discord server in the description of the video below. Quite often someone there is looking for someone to play together with Skybase. I've also created a rank system there, based on Skybase skills to make you better finding a duo. And that would be it. Remember that a lot depends on the ability to improvise, experience and of course luck. So it's not worth giving up when you fail once or twice. If you are interested in what we have reached so far with Skybase, you can see one of the 2 videos displayed on the right side of the screen. Soon I will also publish a video of the tournament for the FNCS Skin Cup, where we placed 63rd and won this skin for free thanks to Skybase strategy. If you don't want to miss it, you can subscribe to the channel by clicking my icon on the left side. See you in the next video.